Hello, hello, hello. I guess my phone decided to start recording all by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and do another reading. I've already shuffled the cards. I've already had them cleared and crystallized overnight. And obviously, and then we're going to go ahead and cleanse the energy. Okay. So we're going to see what messages we have today. So, okay, this is like Florida water. This just also helps to negate energies and have everything nice and pretty and clear for us to do what we need to do. Okay, this is like a really cool little pendulum. This is one of the Isisian pendulums that is questionable. I do like to use it just for confirmation at times, and I'll show you real quick how we do that. So, oh, actually, I don't know if you, well, I've got the camera up above, so we'll see. Okay, so the light of God surrounds me, the love of God enfolds me, the power of God protects me, the presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. Okay, so I have the pendulum like straight down, and I ask for confirmations. Show me yes. So when we do ask for yes, the pendulum is gonna like start swinging north to south, and you should be able to see it. Okay, so that, well, I say that. Let's see if I can move the camera and then put it back where it needs to be. Okay, let's see. Okay, clear? Okay, show me yes. Clear. Show me no. And usually with no, it'll start like moving in a circle. I'm kind of holding my hand stationary, so you can see that I'm not manipulating the pendulum hand movement. But anyway, that's sometimes something that can be used for confirmations. When you see people doing this or this over their cards, that ain't shit, okay? Because I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do, excuse my French, but it isn't that. It's actually an energetic confirmation, not a freaking swing-a-thon with the pendulum. So anyway, let's go. It's got the prayers, we've got it all going, and let's start. Okay, so this deck, hold up, where did I put my boxes away? I do want to let you know which decks I'm using. Okay, so this one is the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. And I'll probably use some of the regular as well. I do like the Oracle ones. I'm like really drawn to this runic tarot at the moment. So I am reading through it, starting at, this is like, speaks to my soul on so many levels. Obviously, again, because I have so many celestial confirmations and a lot of stuff that I didn't know about our Norse way of living. It's not a myth. The shit that we've been taught is a myth. The Bible story is a myth. And again, it's the study of astrophysics. It's the movement of celestial bodies across the heavens. And then, there's some of our true histories in there. And then obviously the demonic stuff and the manipulations. And how they've managed to have control of us is in the 1500s. I have it on some of my decodes. They changed our time so that they could manipulate, had more control over our minds and manipulation, because when they used people like myself as seers in Operation Looking Glass with Aaron Vaughn and Patrick Tillman, those are the two that would make sense. Maybe Chris, Kyle, all of the special forces guys, there's a groups of us that they isolated and put together because of our seer and our oracle abilities. So they could see my vision, Patrick's vision or Aaron's vision or whoever else that they targeted since birth. So by watching us and manipulating and seeing our abilities, and they combine the three, they can do a projection and actually change the course of history. But again, they condemned to death because they didn't have consent to manipulate the time matrix in this time of space. There's no outer space. There's outer civilizations, but there's no outer space. Just out of people's brain space, I guess. So we've got this. It's celestial. We'll see. Okay. Let's see what we got, Spirit. What message? Okay, now put those in. Let's take this one. And we're starting off with the Golden Palace. 23, which is 5, which is grace. Let me see. I really want to try and get my lights to where there's not so much glare on the cards. Let's see if that is better. Yeah, it does appear a little bit better. Well, okay, so this is the Golden Palace, which is a beautiful card as well. And then there's 4 birds and 2 moons. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Once the Nibiruan electrostatic transduction net dissipates, that's what the Nibiru, or these Anunnaki and the reptilians, when they invaded this time matrix, when they changed our trajectory from the Pythagorean algorithms of 3.14, they dampened down the vibrational frequencies to facilitate the Fibonacci spiral, which is at 1.68, and they were able to put over the Nibiruan electrostatic transduction net, which also then affects how the energetic field of each individual being on the earth responds. And that's how they've also tapped into our consciousness and tried to harvest our downloads from source. These are unforgivable sins. That's why when we have the nefarious asshats standing up there and saying nothing can stop what's coming, yeah, it's their asses are getting fried. They are done. They will not control the minds of any human anywhere, because every person that is born with a consciousness has a mission, has a divine mission, and these things have no right to interject and harvest and use us like an energy source. They use humans as batteries. So when we're slaving away, we're supporting these pedophiles, these nefarious things. If you want to look, there's so many men that can tell you every single thing about a football player, and it's sad actually, because that's who that entity that then controls that individual's mind. Yeah, if we, like Louis Vuitton, those ugly freaking purses that everybody salivates over, the dude is a freaking pedophile. They're all nefarious, and you basically become a slave to that individual. The lotions and potions and everything that we've bought it's all part of the witchcraft. And they've attacked our physical form in all ways, and this is why people that are heeding the call or stepping up and giving up worldly things so that they can vibrate in the highest frequency, because the faster we're able to heal our body, we actually regress in age, because we are providing life force to new cell development. And as we are exposing all of these nefarious beings, we are increasing the vibrational frequency of our Mother Earth, and we are resetting time and frequency. So we're resetting time back to our original Julian calendars, or actually probably prior, where we have 13 months of 28 days. That's the original cycle of everything. Okay, now I'm getting this vision of a clock. So if we, I don't have a clock in here, so I'll grab it. Okay, so if you look at the time, okay, 12 plus 1 is 13, 11 plus 2 is 13, 10 plus 3 is 13, 9 plus 4, you see 9 plus 4, it's like our clock. 6 plus 7 is 13. So they've manipulated time. So we're resetting that to the original timeline. And also our months and the vibrational frequency. So the more people are expanding their consciousness and elevating their intellectual abilities, they're recoding their DNA, and they're becoming smarter because we're expanding our consciousness as we all evolve and grow and are waking up to the reality of the control matrix that they've had us living in, which is in a total illusion. We don't need to work 40 hours a week. Everybody basically is going to have a wonderful life here pretty soon and retire, because our parents and grandparents, those that walk in authenticity here, not the asshats that have been in power, that have been controlling everybody and everything, that will sell their mother's possessions for fame and fortune. Okay, slow and steady. So the Golden Palace is, I guess we're going into the Golden Age. There's a beautiful tree over there, the tree of life, of wisdom. And that's the other thing, the education systems are going to be totally dissolved and redone, because education and knowledge doesn't cost money. But again, it's for their world to go round. That's why they withheld so much. And then what they did teach us was bullshit anyway. So the Golden Palace is the new home. It's within our vessel. We're turning our souls, our lives from the lead that kept us here. We're turning lead into gold. I don't know why I get like iron, like Fe iron. We're evolving. We are ascending. We're going into the Golden Age, and it's slow and steady transformation. We can see this butterfly beautifully coming out of a shell, and we're evolving and growing, you know. And I speak of this often as well. We have been all colors and all cultures throughout eons of time. It's all coded in our DNA. So we still have some unevolved individuals that just still want to hang on to a chip of slavery, and they still want to enhance division among us. It's like, you know, oh no, the white people need to stay together, and oh no, the black people need to stay together. If we're still thinking that way, there's some deep soul searching and healing that still needs to be done, because we have, it's all coded in our DNA. And that's why I have real difficulty comprehending or understanding a racist, because again, they just unevolved souls. And you know, when we've come together, like religion aside, if we just put religion aside and look at each individual on a soul level, we all still crave the same thing, you know, just to be loved and accepted as God created us. But then, you know, there's a certain standard that defiles where some of us have lived, and some countries have been bred and groomed to believe that they're the best of the best when they are not. And there's this shocking realization that a nation that's been pushed as the most prestigious and intelligent actually, in realization, have the lowest IQs and are the most controllable. But again, this is why you know, we learn and grow, and we evolve and expand our consciousness, and that is what the Great Awakening is about. That's what the rebirth is about. And we all knew this time was coming. We did. If people would pay attention, we have a lot of synchronicities and things throughout our life that have led us to this time. God has provided us with clues throughout our lives. That's how I tapped onto the Bob Joyce thing. I mean, from birth until I was 4 or 5 years old, my neighbors were Bob and Joyce Upton. And then the Upton connection with Bob Joyce, which was a confirmation for me from Source or God or Spirit, is that Patrick Upton, I met him. He was a gentleman that was in the Navy, and his father actually worked with Elvis, the Spiral Staircase. But the common denominator between those two was Colonel Parker, who was a handler. And yes, Elvis Presley, that they have these things that control them behind the scenes as well. So, I mean, Elvis was basically, I'm not justifying any of the nefarious, hateful, disgusting, despicable things that they've done behind the scenes. I'm purely looking at this from a different perspective. I'm not trying to sway anybody here, because wrong is wrong. But this is Colonel Parker controlled how much money they actually got of their own income. So if he's taking 50% commission, he's their handler. So it's handler, but he's also my handler. And who's his handler is the Onassis freak, right? And then the Rockefellers, but they're above the Rockefellers. They also just pawns in this crazy puppeteer show. But it's all coming to an end, and nobody's going to control any human, because we're sovereign beings, and we, have the intellectual abilities to take care of ourselves. Yes, we have to reteach people the basics, but we can do this, and we're going to, because again, we have so many people to heal, and a lot of folks are going to struggle. And when we're looking at generations of genetically modified food, we're looking at generations of poisonous pharmaceuticals, we're looking at generations of subliminal programming, we're looking at generations of treated water. The ultimate goal was to turn Americans transgender against their will, basically. Oh, God made you this way. It's horseshit. Because if they took away all of the stuff, take away the pharmaceuticals, take away the vaccinations, take away everything, like I've done, and you don't put poison in your body, like no poison at all. I put pure water in my body. I don't put toxins. So yeah, my brain is functioning optimally. But these Neanderthals, the knuckle draggers that don't lift their knuckles off the ground long enough to breathe air, they can't comprehend the basics. And they're the ones like, oh my God! These people are crazy. We need to put them in jail. We need to incarcerate them. There ain't dilly shit wrong with us. Those are the fucks that need to be taken care of. It's the same thing. You have the right to refuse to be judged by a judge that is under the influence of pharmaceutical medications because his brain is altered. He's not clear thinking. He's putting a drug into his body. And then we have the flesh eaters that are governed by different principalities. You cannot communicate with these people because they intellectually defunct, and then they threatened because they can't, their consciousness isn't expanded, and they just programmed and indoctrinated to, oh, I'm an American, oh, I'm a doctor, I am great, I'm the judge, I say how that goes. And then we've got these assholes out there too that are fucking telling people, we don't care who you are, we will shoot and kill you. Okay, those assholes need to get shut the fuck down, because no police chief or police fuck all has jurisdiction over another person. And yes, I'm getting loud and I'm getting verbal with my cussing, and I don't care. We have a fucking Gestapo in place that are controlled by the Freemasons, which hunt people like me down, and I'm not their fucking sacrifice. I'm not their trophy hunt. Now all that goes back on them. These things are going to watch their children die slow deaths. Do I wish that? No, I'm an oracle seer. It's what they wished for us. And that's where God gets his justice. We return the favor. You're not going to have innocent people and come after my children that are the future world leaders, and other people like myself that also have strong children with morals, values, and standards that follow God's path. It's not about a church. It's not about a book. It's about the soul that resides within you. So all the Gestapo asshats are going to be rounded up as well, because you're not going to threaten to shoot somebody just because you think you fucking can. Police are going to get cut down. We don't need them. Those ones that are corrupt are getting rounded up like the pigs that they are, and they will get exterminated, because police officers take an oath to serve and protect, not slaughter the innocent, not participate in drug trafficking, in child trafficking, in sex trafficking, in weapon trafficking. And I share that on my Facebook page with the DEA and ICE and everybody going through arresting these people. What you are being seen on television is a total distraction. It's a bunch of bullshit, and it's got nothing to do with anything else. The whole Charlie Kirk crap. They are villains. They are exterminated. They're part of the fucking problem. Erica has a dick. It's a transgender. When they showed Donald Trump running around with all of these young girls, they're not young girls. They are trainees in training. All your Victoria's Secrets models are transgenders. That's the secret. It's the same thing. All your Miss Worlds and Miss Arizonas and Miss Universes have all been women with wangs. It's insulting because they are not women and they never will be women. Take a seat. Goodbye. Anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Okay. Slow and steady wins the race. Let's go. Next one. I need to turn my cards around. Okay, making a choice. And this is where we're at. You know, we have to decide the narrow path over here, which is not always easy. Doing the right thing in the face of adversaries is still rough. But you know what? We're not going to suffer to peer pressure. And that's why a lot of us walk alone. Like I said, you know, we don't want to play in somebody else's circus. But this is the path that we've had. And, you know, or everybody that I've met along the way has had a decision. God gave them a choice. Are you going to work with my child or are you going to work against her? And the majority chose to work against me because they, again, are governed by a principality and they chose money over love. So we do have the choices. You know, and unfortunately, some people that are just low grade and that don't have good DNA, they don't have the cognition to grasp that what they do is wrong. And I have a tremendous difficulty understanding that mentality. But I'm not supposed to. I'm just here to irritate the shit out of them so that they learn and grow. Dun, diddle, dun, dun, like the hill goes. Next up, we have number 9, which is the storm fields. Okay, so making a choice, the stormy fields, yes, as we go within, and we're doing all of these healings. Okay, so here we have a checkerboard, and that then also goes back to the courthouse floors have checkerboards. That's all subliminal programming. It's the black and white. It's the chessboard. It's a game. It's part of a galactic, like the Nibirian electrostatic transduction net. They play us like pawns in a chess game. That's what the Freemasons are renowned for. I'm not speaking about the surface level ones. They are really good people in our communities. I think they are a part of something good. But again, to me, as if you belong to a secret society, why? Why have secrets? Why do we need to belong to something that's nefarious? And that's why it's a secret. So, you know, the people that are on the top surface levels, I'm sure once they realize that they've got themselves into a whole heap of shit, they're going to walk away from the secret societies. There will be no secret societies in the future. There's no pertinence to it. So the checkerboard, and then there's a bee. And obviously, you know, like them not being able to sacrifice me in 21 means that just my mere presence tapping into the crystalline grid structures of the earth, that's how we communicate through source. So the sun is our energetic source. It communicates through us. It's kind of like we're like walking trees, and then it goes into the earth through us. Trees are the same. Like they reach to the heavens, they get all the sunlight, and then, you know, the whole chlorophyll. It's the whole system. They take in the carbon dioxide, they give us oxygen. And this is a huge, big organism. Our earth is a living being, and like the roots go down into the earth. It's communication. It's the same thing with light workers like myself. So I was just my presence on this earth then woke up all of my bloodline, or it's starting to the A positive bloodlines, because we are the ancient civilizations and they needed to cut off time. And that's why the ASAT said in the one negative 48 groups, when he was casting spells and illusions on people, and he said humanity will never be totally awake. And I thought to myself, no, they are going to be. So he was casting those spells with word magic to the people listening, and I negated it with my thought, because no, the global population will no longer be under government control, or these reptilians, or the greys, or the evil Palladians, these all malevolent beings that use manipulation to control, and that's wherein the problem lies. And that's why they will not be a part of the new world. And you know, when they've come up against the chosen, or the original bloodlines, it's karma. You reap what you sow. It's reciprocity. They've cast an illusion about those of us that are walking in authenticity, and now they have to go down into their phantom matrix and live out that phantom, the weirdness that they created. And then we have 33, which is Peaks of Joy. Dun, diddle, dun, dun. So yes, we're going through the golden place. We can go slow and steady while we make out the right choices in our lives. Yes, it can present stormy fields, because it is not easy when you heed your call. What was that? Was it Molokai? No. Nicodemus. I don't know the Bible story, because I was never ever led to it. It was always like that, ding ding ding, this don't make sense, stay away, brr, 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 alert. That was me in the Bible. But there was, just because it didn't make sense, and again, I have the gift of discernment. That's why I can pick out the truth in the Bible where other people just believe it to be the holy gospel truth when it's really not. But again, I'm grateful for my abilities. And now I got totally sidetracked. Mordecai was the dude with Esther. And why is Esther? I am Esther. And I am here to free my people. All the A positive bloodlines, and then the O positive bloodlines, the Alpha and the Omegas. So, Nicodemus, was it Nicodemus that didn't want to leave his family to follow the healers? And I think he just gave them his money, which kind of, in a sense, you know, does help them with their mission. I don't know the story. You'll know it. You'll know if it resonates or not. To me, it's like, well, it doesn't matter. We've got to heed the call and do what we feel necessary to grow and heal and evolve our souls. So this is a beautiful little girl in the card. Oh man, I wish I could get the glare off of this. Maybe if I contort it a bit, or you'll see better. Okay, so 33, there's a butterfly, there's a little girl that's rising up, and this is what we're doing, right? We are rising up those childhood hurts and traumas and difficulties that we had. We're going back within and we're healing those, because a lot of our belief systems were based on false pretenses or the projection of those that are around us. And you know, when you're in somebody like myself that has ESP, a super sensitive being, it's extra, it's a different perception of time and space, of this time matrix. So you see through illusions, you feel stuff. And I unfortunately was raised in a family that didn't value or respect you. When you said, please stop doing that, it hurts my feelings, they would actually do it more. And that's when you ask people, please don't do that. And then you also live in a place where it's physically abusive, and they beat the living shit out of you, and then they turn around and tell you, I beat you because I love you. And it's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, love is supposed to be warm and fuzzy and a place of safety, not I'm gonna beat you black and blue because I love you. So there's like this total disconnect, especially, you know, with empaths, Heyokas like myself. So that was one of those things. So, you know, you build those walls up because, again, it's just totally disrespectful. You don't do things to hurt people once they've told you, please don't do that. It hurts my feelings. Because the intent is there, and that's where the difference comes in with healers. My intention is never ever to hurt anybody. I'm very straightforward. I'm brutally honest. So that does get people bent out of shape. But my intention is never impure. And I'm just looking at the bottom. We've got the strength card. which is number 44, which is a beautiful card as well. You know, it's this little lady that's holding the earth up with a single tree, and that's the tree of wisdom and knowledge. And I kind of resonate, you know. And this is also for all the other people out there that are waking up and embracing their inner child. That free spirit within us. I've just been dawdling around this world in my own free spirit itself. I didn't realize how different I was until, I don't know, everybody decided I wasn't worth living. And I'm like, but why? What's wrong with me? Wait, people don't like me because I speak the truth and I'm honest, and I get them all rattled out of their cages, and then all of a sudden they feel like I don't deserve to live. See it? We're not having ass hats, and we're not sacrificing any more of the good soldiers. I already had my little vent about that on my Facebook. If you're interested in, I only have this YouTube channel. My Facebook is Leilani Olofsrud. And I do my decodes in there because that's another one of my abilities. Like, I can do these cards. I can also write code and share messages in numbers, in gematria. Which is almost like a confirmation from source, right? Because I'm talking in God's language that the Freemasons took and twisted and used to their own perversions. And now we're going to turn it all around for the positive that it was. Next up is 11, which is the balancing act. And that is where we're at, you know, with going through everything, with our great awakening, the strength, finding the strength within, to bring those peaks of joy into our life. And that's what the balancing act is. 666 is also balance and harmony. And once we flip it up, it's 999, which is the whole new world, which comes up to 27. 2 and 7 is 9. 9 is the most high. And like I've said, and I would reiterate, Psalms 82:6 says we are all children of the Most High God. Therefore, we are all gods, and we are all Yeshuas, and we are the nurturers. God is not a separate being or entity from us. It's a conscious collective of all of us combined that want the same things, and that is love. That is the law of vibrational energy. That means we walk in authenticity. That means we embrace the 7 virtues, and we have morals, values, and standards. And yes, we don't put our pearl before swine, because the swine needs to learn and grow, or they get fried into some bacon. Wink, wink. You know, I think once police realize how we really don't need them, they've really not valued. They've been part of the Gestapo and predators and pedophiles, and all the weirdos go and hide in them. Not all of them, but from my experience, religious people and police have all been assholes. Then I have 6 is the mountain. Yeah, God is moving mountains for us, and she'll be coming around the mountain. When that Niburian electrostatic transduction net unwinds, that's when that's that flash of light. I don't know where people get this notion that we have water above us. I don't know. That doesn't knock in my noggin. Mountains, so we have 49, which comes to 13, which comes to 4, which is also our number. And then we have a little pathway. This is the talisman. Oh, you know, and this is the beauty of all these asshats that came for our stuff, right? Like Isis and Osiris and King Solomon and Zeus and Gilgamesh. Like, they were all buried with our possessions for this time. Those possessions are cursed because they're in the wrong hands. They only operate optimally by those who are here to reactivate them. So as we rebuild the world, all the stuff we had buried with ourselves through the eons, and everything that's like hoarded up in the Smithsonian and the Jeffersonian, that the government used our soldiers as freaking grave robbers, for crying in a bucket. It's wrong. It goes against all kinds of spiritual laws. But we can undo that and fix it, because everything that was stolen from another country has to go back to the rightful owners. And this is where we will rebuild the world. And that's why we were buried with all of our stuff, because we knew that this time was coming when we would eliminate them. And this way we have our prized possessions that are coded and programmed for the new world, not theirs. That's why the AI COVID-19 is the certificate of vaccination identification. 19 A is 1, it's the first letter of the alphabet. I 9 is the ninth letter of the alphabet. COVID-19 is COVID AI. It's COVID artificial intelligence. It's all bullshit to fuck with your head. It's to stop your ascension. That is your crown chakra. Corona virus is the crown virus. It's to fuck with your mind. And that's what Malcolm X told us. He said they were going to use psychological propaganda. And this is what we're overcoming. So anyway, I continue to say those that walk in authenticity are perfectly okay, because the new technologies will be able to assess intent. And those that want to rebuild the world and genuinely have good intentions will have unlimited funds. Just that's the way it works. And all the assets that want to be assholes, they will get left behind, and until they evolve and grow, they won't have access to anything. I mean, they've got to do what they did to us. The soldiers that the fucking old Cranshaw tried to put in jail that didn't do anything wrong, they will pay. You can't frame innocent people for shit. There's consequences. It's called fucking karma. Sorry. I am passionate about this, because I'm going to defend those that have their fucking government has taken their ability away to defend themselves because they made them sign a fucking piece of paper. That paper doesn't bind them. And there's not a freaking judge or anybody on this planet right now that is going to hold them to that, because he knows if he's going to be unethical and hold somebody that was given misinformation and signed a fucking lie to begin with, there's no judge that can stand that. And if they do, they'll go to hell, because a judge took an oath to also always tell the truth. And these motherfuckers can't tell the problem here is people can't tell the truth. If they actually had to tell the truth, they'd be permanently squint. And I'm gonna try and stop swearing. I'm just passionate, and I'm not aggressive. I'm not assertive. I am assertive. I think I'm not aggressive. So it comes across as arrogance and aggression when it's not. It's assertion. Because I'm always going to stand up for the underdog that gets tread on by the fuckheads. And I don't defend the ones that know they're doing wrong, but they get pleasure out of it, because that's the whole sadistic, twisted things that reptilians do. They don't have souls. They don't cry. The only reason why they're fucking sorry is because they got caught. Okie dokie. Next up. 29, it's 11, and that's coming to life. So yes, we're going through the talisman. We're walking through this road of enlightenment to number 13, which is the 13th dimension, which is a density of lightness, which means we're not being held back or governed by the principalities that they've put over us. And now we are reliving, we are reactivating the God, the love, the Christ consciousness within us, because there's no higher vibration than authenticity. And when we are real, we are not going to appeal to everybody, but we're not supposed to. We are here to enlighten and show the way, and try and guide as best we can. And then we're coming to life in our authenticity and who God made us to be. And I'm so grateful that I left Dallas in 21 when I did, because his wish of saying, oh, we will always control humanity, if they had actually managed to sacrifice me, they would have cut my timeline off, and then they would have continued to control humans and believe that these fucking weirdos that want to wear dresses and pretend to be women and vice versa are normal, and totally ruin the God in our children. That shit's not happening. It's part of a plague. That is the damn plague. Next up, We have 35, which is 8, which is education. So yeah, you know, it's all relearning new ways, understanding that all of our history is a lie, and unlearn everything we've been taught, which is very, very uncomfortable. And sometimes, you know, those that do experience it, it will feel like you're having a zipper, like from your forehead all the way across your skull and all the way down your spine. It feels like somebody's taking a zipper and just like ripping it all the way down. That is like a visceral response to the decoding, and it hurts. But you just have to lift yourself back up and say, okay, so they lied to us, so what's the truth? And that's just what it is. It's no blame game. It's just like, oh, okay, so they fucked us over, so now we know better. How do we do better? And this is through education. All of the universities and the schools are going to be abolished because we're not supporting the satanic system. There will be facilities where children or the people will have access to all of the true information and what truly draws them to their heart. They will not charge us for wisdom. They will not charge us for education, because it goes against universal principles. We have a right to know our history. The thing is, it's coded in our DNA, and that's what's been re-enlightened and realigned, and we're realigning with our ancestral bloodlines, and nobody can stop that. And they have to give us what is rightfully ours by divine rights. So it's re-educating the world, and, you know, letting our children also be a voice. I'm so proud of my son. You know, he does have the courage to speak up when he needs to, and I know it grates the shit out of people, but we have to allow our children to be able to express themselves to the best of their ability. And like me, my children will say what other people don't have the courage to say. And, you know, they're right. If somebody's going to represent a leader, they had better be on par or better. You cannot expect some people that don't know how to brush their teeth, don't know how to brush their hair, and they are unkempt in their appearance. You cannot want to... That's a choice, okay? And I say that with sensitivity, because a bar of soap costs $1, and you can have nothing, but you can always be clean. And civility costs nothing. So, and also, you know, we need to help these children in those homes where they're not taught how to brush their teeth. They're not taught how to brush their hair. They don't care about their appearance. And that is how this fucked up system has destroyed our children as well. They are worth it. And for me, we need to allow the natural healers to also step forward, because they are guides, they are way showers, and their intent is honestly pure. But it's not seen by people that operate out of an ego space, because they would naturally want to point it out. Oh, they think that they're better. No, they don't. They just have a calling, and they say what other people don't have the courage to say, but everybody's thinking. Those are our natural born leaders. And there's so many children, I'm sure, that behind closed doors suffer horrific things. But you know what? The joy in all of that is that the military is coming to arrest them. You know, 1984, the George Orwellian time was a prediction. They watch us through our televisions, through our phones, through everything. And since they weren't able to destroy the good in us, we now get to turn the tables on them, and we get to expose all the pedophiles, all the predators, all of their activity, their fake accounts, their hacking, their scrying, whatever they do. It's all noted, and now they're all going to get rounded up. And those are the individuals that are going to be taken to FEMA camps to be processed through military tribunals. You have to realize we're living in two different realities now. The assets on television are going to be like, oh my God, they're arresting all of these religious people, all of our preachers. We have Satanists taking over. No, we're not. We're fucking arresting the fuckheads that are pedophiles, that hide in churches, and preachers that have helped in trafficking humans, children, drugs, and weapons, and everything else. It's in our communities. I don't know if that shit's happening in the community I live in. I don't really freaking care. I just know I had to deal with some asshats that hid in the church. that had no business coming up against me or my children or my ex-husband, and now they're gonna get pounded for it. Do I feel sorry for them? No, because their intentions were nefarious to begin with. So, no. We all know right from wrong. You don't set out to hurt somebody just because they have a different belief system. And here I am doing what God put me on this earth to do. So, that beating is going to be a little bit worse. And the beatings, for those that came against all of my brothers that walk in authenticity and sisters that have been manhandled by the effed up government. Glug, glug, glug. They said they were draining the swamp. America's a swamp. The biggest one. And there are innocent people living in this country that are forced to do nasty things because they want to take care of their families. That is taking away someone's divinity. That is taking away someone's sovereignty. That is taking away somebody's free will. That is taking away somebody's freedom. It goes against universal principles. A lot of these folks in the government as well, right? They give them rohypnol and then they do nefarious things. I don't know. I've heard via the grapevine that some of them would like get into these situations where they will give them rohypnol, which is like that date rape drug, alter their mentation, have them be inappropriate with a child, execute the kid, and then they would use that as extortion. It's pathetic, okay? But that is what America has been, and now it will be no more. We're not going to have people like the old fucking small jaw Crenshaw over there try and put people in jail that haven't done anything wrong. Fuck him and everybody that's affiliated with him. They can all go and hang out with their wangs out at Guantanamo Bay. We'll just throw all them assholes over there. You can throw them on Cuba, give them some seeds, and they can take care of themselves. No medication. So we can have like old fat fucks with old big old bellies and droopy tits and bald heads that want to call themselves fucking women when they're delusional. We're not doing this shit. They're not ruining our children. And I don't care how many people hate me. We're here to get rid of the Baphomet, not embrace them. They're mentally retarded. They're deranged. Again, I'm not angry. I know I sound. I'm not. I have a fire burning in my soul and I'm passionate about this. I'm not aggressive. I'm just assertive. I'm not arrogant. I'm just staunch and I stand in my constitution and my conviction. And this is my purpose that I was put on this earth. People are supposed to teach their children. No, you have a penis that doesn't go into the rectum of another man. And yeah, we have preachers saying, oh, it's okay. We just embrace them. That's why them fucks are going to go to FEMA camps and concentration camps, because they strung wrong and they're part of the corruption. It's got nothing to do with their religion is reptilian dogma. It's about sacrifice. It's about child trafficking and the consummation of flesh and blood of the children. We're not doing it. And unfortunately, here's my hope, that there's at least 35% of the population that are ready for this, that are like so sick and tired of the bullshit. Religion is going to be voided because it was created as a form of mass mind control, and it's to keep us divided. Just like the people that still play the chip on the shoulder. Oh, we black. We've been opposed. We've been this. We've been that. Yeah, we fucking all have. Get over it, okay? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's coming to my door. I don't give a fuck what color your skin is. It's how we treat one another. That's what matters. It's the soul of that being that matters. That's why racist people, they can go and take a hike and find a cave to spelunk in. Like, no, we're evolving past that. We're not looking at colors. We're not looking at creeds. We're not looking at religion. We are looking at us as a human collective. And we're going to build back all of our nations all over the world to the best of our abilities, you know, because it's our divine right. All the borders are going to disappear because you're not going to be divided. We are people that can come and go where we want, how we want, and it's those that are the criminals that will be stopped. I'm not going to control fucking 7 billion people because we have 300 million assholes. Okay. Next up, 53. Oh, look, it's a mirror. 53 and 35, both is 8. We have an elephant, and the elephant is listening. I love this. And it is so interesting. Elephants are very, very intuitive. Oh, and guess what? They don't eat dead things. So elephants, and they have memories. They have long memories. They're beautiful, majestic animals. And that's another reason why they were targeted. And that's why I think poachers should be shot on sight, because their intention is to hurt an animal. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no, oh, let's go and sue you and we're going to spend years in court. No, you just put a shiny one in the head. Because we have protectors. God has put protector angels on this earth to take care of animals. So yeah, I don't give a shit taking out a poacher. Just make it quick and easy with less splat. So elephants are very intuitive, and this is the thing as well with that -48, why no 7, and the other freaks like Clan pretending to be me, stealing my fucking content and making it their own. Every time I went into a room, they would make a point of saying elephant in the room, and I was like, what the fuck? Why do they always say that? And that was because I stepped in, and then they would start doing their witchcraft and bullshit, and now that shitpot that they stirred is now all returning to sender. No, there's no compromise. Nope, you lied. Then when those octagon groups are getting fucked up because you're not going to lie to people and try and steal what doesn't belong to you. No, there is no redemption. No, they had a choice. They knew innately before they decided coming up against me that what they were doing was wrong, and they did it anyway. Why? Because they believe a fucking book. Boo-hoo! Your soul is not evolved. That's their belief. That's the thing. We have to let them live out their delusion that they believe. While the rest of us are this breakaway civilization, while we go and we tap into our resources that I get to share with everybody, that I choose. And obviously, I mean, it's not a micromanagement thing. It's just, hey, you want to be a part of the new world and you want to make the world a better place and you're heeding the call. Hey, this is what God has for us. Unlimited abilities. Because, you know, the American dollar, and I've shared this on my Facebook, the American money is blood money. It's reptilian money. It's their currency. We don't need it. We'll make a new one for all of us. And the QFS obviously is a system that has unlimited funds. Money is it's a control. It's one of those mummons. It's another principality. Because God put us on this earth, He provides everything we need, and they destroyed it. They took all the fruit trees away everywhere. They told us we needed farmers. We don't. We just need to go back and grow food wherever it is, so that farmers aren't stuck. They can still go and do what they want to do, travel and see all the beautiful things that they want to see, and experience life to their fullest. Hey, if they want to grow food for us, we all grow food together. That's what churches will be. They're going to not be these fucking satanic hellholes, okay? They're going to be places where we go together and we commune, and you bring your vegetables and I bring mine, and we trade with each other, and we make sure that there's nobody in our communities that are homeless, that are cold, that have nothing. You know, the ones that cops are now encouraged to create so that people have to commit crimes to do their fucking bidding. I don't like a police officer, and I have every right not to like them. Because they're a bunch of fuck-ups in my eyes. All they know how to do is beat their Peters and lie. Next one is 4, which again is a spirit of place. It's our life path number. We are the elves. We are the fae. We are those that want to purvey the truth and help others to learn and grow. I'm just not everybody's cup of tea, and I don't want to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm a special kind of me, just like there are many, many other special kind of people out there, and we vibe at the same vibrational frequency. We say what we think, whether you like it or not. It's not intended to hurt your feelings, but it is intended to poke at you so that you can wake up. I mean, my intention is never, ever impure. I just have zero tolerance for assholes. And then we have the Dragon's Lair. Spirit of Place is the Dragon's Lair, which is 19, which is 10, which is 1. Dragons are actually also real, as are unicorns. They're beautiful, majestic beings. And the reptilians actually took their DNA to create the nefariousness. Dragons have very, very pure hearts. They will live on. They are pure. I mean, part of their DNA was taken and manipulated and used by these things that infiltrated our time matrix. And that's why we now know that the AB negative bloodlines serve a different kind of base vibrational frequency, and they're the low-hanging fruit, and they are they can't live in the new world. They can't handle the frequency because there's too many real people, and we live in a world of fake ones. And that's what's changing. All of the star seeds are waking up. We're bringing everybody together, and we just have to do the re-education thing, where this, oh, love is love is love. It doesn't matter if it's a man or woman. Yeah, that shit's gonna change, because it's not that at all. We've been misinformed, but again, you know, this is how we learn and grow, and we help our children be the best versions of themselves by eliminating the programming system and the indoctrination thereof. Okay, so I'm 55 minutes in, and I'm okay. Let me get back to the cards. Okay, so this is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I really do like these cards as well. So this is the Higher Power. This is a number 4 again. Look, it's a spirit of place. I'm going to put it with that card. It's the God within us. It's the Christ consciousness. It's the goodness within your heart that's been reawoken. This is God is calling us home. That is what it is. We're not dying. We're coming up to a higher level of conscious awareness and tapping into our Creator. And we all want the same things. We want protection for the innocent. We want to be a voice for those that have become voiceless because of a fucked up government. And I hear the helicopters. It's like, oh, is that them? Are they coming to get their assholes? No, but they're close. Those, if you can hear the helicopter, there are good men and women out there that are putting balls to the wall and fighting their asses against the Dan Grenshaws and whoever else are against us. We also have to realize that Michael Aquino became a big part of the military. He distorted at least 30% of the military into being evil. Okay? And that's like, I'm just hitting on a 30%, maybe one more. Then we have the religious folks that somehow, I can't wrap my brain around this. They believe that as long as they believe that somebody died by the name of Jesus, and he died for their sins, and it kind of, they have this belief that it releases them of their actions, and that is the worst thing anybody can. And there's a lot of them. I mean, she doesn't believe what it says in the book, she doesn't deserve to live. Yeah, it doesn't work like that, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And then the book, if Satan has had dominion over this earth for the last 1,000 years, they're not going to give you a book that's going to lead to your redemption and salvation. Again, this is a common sense thing. That's why it doesn't matter what a book says, because there's very little of our true history that's in the Bible, which is a story of bisexual bull lines, the bullocks. And then there's the whole Biden, okay? Biden administration. Biden, it's Bidens, 2 dens of transgenders, of fucking weirdos, those that, you know, pretend to be men, and vice versa. And then it goes further. It's those that start in utero gender reassignment, and then those that turn to flip. Like, I don't know, I saw someone about this dude the other day, some Navy SEAL, or some dude, oh, I was a transgender. And then he went and grew a pair of tits, and all of a sudden when it wasn't cool anymore, he ungrew them, or who knows what they did. The thing is, it's not coming from a heart space. It's going, oh, I'm going to morph my body or do whatever I need to do to my body for a place of status. Again, it's a wrapping of the brain. Cognition isn't, the noggin isn't nogging. Okay? Because again, it's not coming from a heart space, it's coming from a ego space. I'm going to alter my body if I have to, just so that I can have that position of control. I don't know. That's just, you know, it's the same thing. These people that are justifying Hollywood whores. No, they chose to do that. They got pleasure into manipulating another person with their punani. There's a consequence to that. So higher power. Next up is 49, which again is 13, which goes to, where's my other 49? Ooh, looky. It came on top of it. What does the fox say? Look at the fox on it. And I did the interpretation of that hati, ha. Right? Hati is, again, goes to our Viking and our Norse history. Again, it's the galactic movement of celestial beings, celestial structures. So yeah, so we are the observer of the heavenly realm, and this is where we're going. I see actually there's 4 stars, 5 stars. Is that a star? Oh, there's lots of them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars. 8 is infinity and beyond. That's where our fox is looking in, and this is where we're going. This sky's the limit. There's so many beautiful things we're going to be able to do and make this world a phenomenal place, while we let the crazy live out their weirdo existence and believing everything they're told on television. So if they want to believe that these religious asshats are being rounded up and executed, oh well. They deserve it because they did crimes against humanity. Like the asshat Pope that has to bury himself in lead because he's so fucking shit scared of burning in eternal hellfire because of all the children that they sodomized and sacrificed. And now, and we have 44, which I know I have a 44 over there, which is strength. Oh, it's so cool. You know, look, it's another fairy, or kind of like a fae. This one's also sitting in contemplation on building blocks, thinking on how to rebuild the future. 44 are these beautiful numbers that we all have. I'm excited to bring everybody on board into the QFS once we all join, and you know, once the real dudes and myself can get together and just let everybody know all over the world. It's not just here, it's all over the world that leaders are waking up and like, this is wrong. Like those poor children in Romania that are stuck in orphanages and they're all deformed because they're not valued. And if Donald Trump and all of these millionaires gave a rat's ass about other people, we would never have had children stuck in orphanages being disfigured because they're not getting the care that they need. You have to realize that these people got pleasure out of creating pain. That's why we had old Diana Spencer, him, and old Father Teresa, that was a dude too, traffic children from Africa. The American Red Cross and UNICEF were, I mean, you give your money to UNICEF and it's funding the trafficking of children as well as the American Red Cross. It was never for the good. It was so that they had access to children. Because if they cared, it truly wouldn't have happened. And you don't use soldiers to harvest adrenochrome from children either. So then we have 30, which is TikTok, which is time. So higher power, this is where we're all stepping into, is our higher selves, taking authority, taking control of our lives, standing up for our rights and our freedoms. We are the observers, we are the thinkers to rebuild a new world, and time is of the essence. It's the TikTok. We're ending their Mickey Mouse transgender clock. And we're going to help our children heal, and those that want to heal will heal, and those that don't, I don't know. They fry their brains on their own insanity, I guess. Then we have 1, that's the yang. These are the masculine. The yin and yang is like kind of the masculine and feminine, and that's also based on that fib of no chi bullshit that they've tried to contort our minds with. Opposites do not attract. I mean, why are you going to do that? Why are you going to put yourself to somebody that's the virtual opposite of you? You're just going to irritate the bejesus out of yourself. That's why likes attract, and this is why all of these positive bloodlines are coming together. People have to start realizing that this is a bloodline war. You can't negotiate with lower level vibrational beings. They are inept. They're mentally inept. It's not coded within their DNA to be decent human beings. And that's why the original bloodlines are standing up, and we're taking back our power. We're taking back our voices. We will not be oppressed. We will not be controlled by freaking men that are mental, that think they're fucking woman, and vice versa. They have a mental disorder. And then again we have the blessed. I love these cards. This one then goes back again to, let me think of this girl, and there's also the fairy also coming out of a shell. Blessed, I don't like that word at all. Actually, that's part of the spelling and the cursing. Be blessed. Okay, that is be blessed. When somebody says be bless you, they're telling you be less you. Tell them go away. That's why I try never to use that word. I try to use graceful and grateful instead of blessed. Again, it's so much word magic. It's the same thing with I don't understand anybody. I don't stand under anybody. They've stood on us when they thought we understood them. We don't. It's an understanding or an overstanding. Some of these concepts are like really difficult to wrap your brain around. Another one is like, I don't like when people say good morning, because it's, oh, good morning. Morning is a morning. It's mourning the dead. It's a curse on your day. So you should say good day and try and avoid, because the universe doesn't know. The universe hears morning. Morning is mourning the death of someone. And then they did it to tell you that every day is to good morning. Enjoy. Oh, it's so twisted because they've messed us up on many levels. So again, I encourage you just to do some introspection and soul searching, and it'll come to you. It'll come to all of us. Next up is 21, which is clean it up. Look, it's an elk and a deer, and it has a feather duster. Okay. Springbok. I don't know. I get that, He called me Boca. He called me Boca. Why did they go for the Dutch? Because we're strong in constitution and we don't take shit from clowns. The British have always been against us, and everybody's like, oh, the red, white, and blue. Which red, white, and blue are you serving? Is it the American monarchy, or is it the British monarchy? Because they were all reptilians that wanted to control Americans. And guess what? It's not happening, because the Dutch is going to clean them up. We're going to stand up and say, no, 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 go away. And then there's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? There's I don't know, there's 7 reindeer, there's 7 versions of Christ. Sorry. There's 7 spirits. I don't know that story. It's just coming to me. But it's also the 7 chakra systems. And these clone things, like, I don't know, this is just my hypothesis. It appears like if they're born a woman, or their parents start in utero gender reassignment, and then they go off to Epstein Island and make clones of themselves. So then I saw a picture once of Elvis Presley sitting with 6 babies next to her, or it, if the thing was born with a vagina and its mother altered it. I don't know. I mean, it would make sense, right? Because then they would need something to run around, and their religion is sow those seed, right? So just procreate. So then again, but if it's something that's created in a lab and it's a clone and it's not of the original source, like what are we actually procreating? Just some food for thought. Next up is 47. It's got a cheetah. And they go this distance. Yeah, cheetahs. They are the fastest animals on earth. Cats are freaking awesome. The Lyrans are waking up. The cats all over the world are fighting these reptoids. And again, it's a higher level of conscious awareness. Once you remember, it's not that you remember, it just resonates, because they wiped our memories. And they continue to do that with the charges in that Nibiru and the electrostatic transduction. The veil is just really thin at the moment because Nibiru is on the opposite side of the cosmos, or the pull on it is on the outer rims of this plane. So yeah, we're going to go the distance. There's the finish line. We're finishing up the checkered flag. Again, that relates to the Stormfields and the checkered flag, the chessboard. We're playing 5D chess with some nefarious folks that have lied to us and manipulated us, but they cannot take what doesn't belong to them. And I think part of my mission here in the United States was to help the original tribes get back what rightfully belongs to them. So yeah, it's I like this card. It's the beautiful one. It kind of ties in with what we have going on. I'm gonna do another 3. I'll just do 3 and we'll read them together. 17. Whoop whoop whoop. There's my number. And it's the Fates, and it's a beautiful, beautiful lady. And that's the beauty of all of this, you know. Once people can see past color and creed and religion and all that other shit and just embrace each other as a human, it's a beautiful thing. But again, we don't need to go and grovel in the dirt. And there's people that choose to just be unevolvable. They choose to drink and smoke and poke, and they have no morals, they have no standards, they have no values. It's a demon. I mean, they bred to be that way. They get pleasure out of inflicting pain on others. It's a mental derangement. So that's the Fates is 17. This is, again, it's the gospel that was taken out. It's the gospel of truth. It's the word that flows through us. You know if you are heeding a call, because you're going to get strong and you're going to stand up for the underdogs and you're going to find your voice. Chaos and Conflict is 33. Yes, the 33rd degree Freemasons. They're a makeup of a whole bunch of assholes, right? Look at that thing over there. It's a zebra that has a giraffe skin, and it's a clown show. Look, we even have it. We have. Oh, I wish I could get rid of this glare. Hold on. Let me see one more thing here, quick. Let's see. Maybe that's a little better. Okay. This is like a really cool card, because again, what comes to me is 33rd degree Freemasons. They're putting on a freaking clown show. They spliced and diced DNA and created these Cabbage Patch Kids, or whatever you want to call them. The splicing and dicing of designer babies. The things don't have souls because they're created in a dish by a doctor that only God knows what he's thinking. Some dude, you know, jacked off in a jar. Who knows what's going into his thoughts? Those are what's put into that semen. That's the energy that's charged in there. And then we have the clueless freaking woman that goes under anesthesia to have her eggs harvested so that they can manipulate creation and create a life in a dish of splicing and dicing DNA, thinking they're making smart people, and they're not. They just created an abomination that doesn't have a soul. So, and that's kind of cool. You know, it does cause chaos and conflict because, I mean, we have an ass and a giraffe and a zebra all trying to look the same. And you know what? There was also an animal in South Africa that was known as a quagga. There must be some relevance in that, and I'll check it out later. So yeah, so these are the Fates. So we're going to go the distance to end the control that they have over us. So we're going the distance to the Fates, and we're ending the chaos and conflict. And we're getting to the end of their reign over us. Dun 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 dun. Next up. Ooh, yay! A new life! Look at that! It all flows so perfectly. So we are abolishing the old, the splicing and the dicing, and we are evolving to a whole new life in each of us, and we are overcoming their control. Purple is your crown chakra. You know what? That's also in churches. They make a fucking joke out of us, right? Because they hang a purple shawl over a cross. That is the crucifixion of your crown. That is the crucifixion of your crown chakra, because they totally control you. Your pineal gland is the Jesus. It is the lamp of your soul. It is your charging system to your body, your vessel, your temple, your church, which is your body. Your DNA is your scroll. That is your Bible. That's your truth. It's coded in us. It's not in a book. So yeah, you know, and that's the thing. While they control your pineal gland, your left and right hemispheres of your brain are not in balance. And then we have all the people that eat dead things too, that just automatically, they're not strung right. They're not energetically charged into the earth in a positive manner. So you can't relate. You can't make sense of it because they're just inept to understand the obvious. So, and Lyrans don't eat dead things. It goes against the God's code, okay? Because it says I shall not kill, only to save a life. So, if you're willing to have animals and you claim to love animals, but you eat meat, you don't love animals. You're a liar. Oh, Malkanadi! I'm going to use this one. Okay, so now that I'm speaking about this, and these like really go in well together. Okay, so we are rising up the crown chakra in all of us that they kind of attacked us with the coronavirus, which is the virus of our crown. Okay, so the new life is what we're raising within us, is new enlightenment, is our crown chakra. That is the Christ that they tried to crucify in each of us, and now they failed. So if we look at the pineal gland, right, it creates melatonin, which is golden in color. It is the lamp of your soul. If you do the sun gazing in the evenings, in the morning, you actually stimulate the piezoelectrical crystals in the pineal gland to produce melatonin, or more melatonin. Melatonin goes through your body at night, your vessel, your temple, and it devours all defective cells. They knew this. That's why they created the 4G towers. When they brought out 4G, we had bird and bee die-offs, and 4G is a constant ping on the pineal gland that causes dysfunction. They created the COVID-19 vaccine to negate pineal gland function. They put calcium and fluoride in the water so that they can calcify the pineal gland. The last thing these idiots want is for you to wake up to the reality and activate the rainbow. It has 7 colors, like each chakra system, like each music note, A, B, like a do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. It relates to a chakra system. So I've covered the pineal gland. I'm going to go ahead to the milk, because it's the milk and honey. The milk is your pituitary. It creates, okay, there's many neurotransmitters and hormones and stuff. I'm just hitting on the surface of it, right? Okay, so vasopressin, oxytocin is milky white. It controls so much as well, right? So there we have, that's your intuition. We have a little elephant in the bowl of milk and honey to re-enlighten us, to realign all of your chakra systems and the milk and honey. They do have the checker blue. I guess it's not quite a checkerboard, but it is the tablecloth. God is delivering us. We are delivering. God is delivering us into this beautiful new life of the great spiritual awakening, where we are appreciating our vessel, which is our body, which is our church. And once we embrace the Creator, God, the Spirit source of who we are, we, the God lands, the glands in our body, then function optimally as the land of the milk and honey. The God lands within our body, reactivates the rainbow within us, and the rainbow nations all over the world. Was South Africa originally picked? Yes, but hey, we're not going to cry over spilt milk. We're all going to come together, and we're going to do this together because we can. We're not going to deal with the whiners and the ones that want to be the fucking victim in everything. You're going to pull up your panties, and we're going to do this together. And the stragglers, I swear, there was this thing when I was at school. Okay, and this is not to any bad mouth anyone, but it was one of the things that irritated the bejesus out of me. Was they were always, I went to a private school, and I loved it so much. And we would go camping and orienteering, where they basically gave you a backpack. They blacked out the windows of the bus, gave you had your backpack, a compass, a map, and we had these different stations that we needed to go to in the mountains. And there was this chick, because she was a teacher's child, she didn't think she needed to do shit, okay? And then she'd pack all the shit that she didn't need in her backpack, and then she wouldn't want to carry it because it's too heavy. So the rest of us had to like carry her stuff because she was fat and lazy. And I know that sounds horrible, but it's like, yeah, we all come together and we help each other. There are some people that just end up being a ball and chain that you cannot bring with. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. In order for the God lands within our bodies to function and for our intuition to kick in, we have to give up worldly things. Alcohol affects mentation, prescription medications. These people are drugged. They are under the influence of a sorcery. The Bible tells us that pharmakia is sorcery. Okay, and this again, we have to pick and choose. It's not a case of picking and choosing. It's finding the truth in a book that's not the whole truth. But yet people still want to use that as a tool for ascension. So we have to modify it and work and pull out the truth. Again, America is not the land of milk and honey. Okay? It's not. We've been lied to with their faggot flag, with the LGBTQ that distorts the minds of our children. The Rainbow Nation is all of us globally that are heeding the call and reactivating the chakra systems. Ezekiel tells us about the wheels. These are the wheels. God is in us. It's a consciousness. It's not a separate entity. Our bodies are our church. It is our temple. It's the vessel we get to communicate with God, or source, or spirit, whatever you want to call it. It's a collective thought. We all want the same thing. Our bodies, God has made us superhumans. If we take care of our body, we're not going to age. These are why the reptoids are also aging, because they have to harvest from us. So they look a lot older than they are. And again, it goes back to like when I was saying, in order for us to live, they must die. Because they vampires. They harvest from us. And the Bible tells them, oh, they're coming to harvest them. Yes, of course. They're coming to harvest the souls of those that don't listen and don't heed the call. So we have to give up worldly things in order to access the heavenly gates. This is the heavenly gate, is the balancing in the left and right hemispheres of your brain so that your pineal gland can activate. That is the lamp of your soul. And the Bible tells us this, that Jacob came face to face with God at Pineal. My dad's second name, my dad was Yeshua. And my dad's second name was Jacobus, which is a variant of Jacob. Chet means great. So it's the great, the great Jacob. And then Uluksa, I'm of Dutch descent. Well, then again, it also goes all the way back to the Egyptian gods and goddesses. But prior to that, way, way, way before, they came for me when I was a little girl. And then they exhumed Lucy, the first homeostasis that humans were created from. That was my DNA. So I was the first creation and the last, in that we are superhumans. And we are raising gods in our children apart from religion, because we're teaching them to value who spirit made them. Religion is a form of mind control. And it's one of those things. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving because it's disgusting. It's actually the celebration of sacrificing 300,000 innocent Native American Indians. They take pleasure in that. This is how they've warped everything. You cannot take a whole nation or ethnic groups or indigenous tribes that are reliant on source for everything. They live perfect lives. They're healthy. They're happy. They make their music. They're experiencing life as God wanted them to. And then they came in, poisoned them, raped their wives, pillaged their shit. And by the way, the Vikings never did that. It's these assets, the Knights Templars and the Crusaders. So, go in there, murder people, give them smallpox infested blankets, steal all this shit, and then want to give them a book that says, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. Yeah. Take that fucking book of yours and bend over and do what you will. I'm not buying in that bullshit rhetoric. And neither is anybody else that's waking up to the reality of the lie. That religion is a freaking the worst form of mind control, and it's all about human sacrifice. And this is how we learn and grow. I put my God back. Oh, that's okay. So then we have 2, which is yin. Oh, cool. It kind of goes right up there with the yang. So that's the balancing of the masculine and feminine within us. It's not circling and chasing. It's the balance and harmony. 666 means balance and harmony. And obviously the flip of that means eternal life. Man, it's so cool. I'm sorry, I'm making a big old mess. Next up, and the last one, let's see what we've got. The owl, which is 14, which is the mirror of the truth. I am the eye. I am a seer. I see what they're doing. Just remember, everything is an inversion. The Masons took good things and made them bad. So we got all these people saying, oh, look, it's it's evil. No, they're not. Owls see in the dark. We see through the illusion of what they're trying to create. Look, it gives us the golden eyes. Owls open up our perspective to see the whole truth with clarity, and then it has all these beautiful little hearts. So we're opening up ourselves to love, which is the law of vibrational energy, which is mean we in authenticity, and we value all things except for assholes that to hurt other people. So that's the truth be told. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I want to go find the one that I put back in here, just because I really liked the milk and honey card, and it tied it all up really coolly. There, I love that card. It works, my people. Can you see how the Illuminati, the 33rd degree Freemasons created chaos and mayhem for us? And that's it. That's JFK, Clooney, or Onassis, or whatever fake fucking name the retard has. I don't really care. Hopefully he's Gitmo Garden Fertilizer by now, and we don't have to worry about him anymore. Don't cry, demons die. They're not worthy of a single freaking tear. They're evil and they deserve what the military has done. Every single dude that took out one of these fuckers deserves a medal of honor. It is okay to kill to save a life. We have to kill them to save the lives of the American population, or what's left of them, that are actually able to learn and grow, and the rest of the world. You know, we didn't have an explosion of fat people in South Africa until they started feeding them dead people through McDonald's. They just used the American population as the guinea pigs. A population of people are not their fucking lab rats, okay? You're not going to give them different... That's just what they've done. Give them vaccinations to see how they alter the people. They trigger them at different times. It's pathetic and it's disgusting. And that's why God is... They dead. They deserve death. Unfortunately, we're still dealing with it on a different level that, you know, people that I thought actually had my back were planning on offing me. And apparently I've like kind of broadcast them along the way. Because they thought they were going to peddle me and fish me and like reel me in like this fish. And then they were going to slaughter me. Hey, Jaco. Hey, Jaco. That was right up there, upper 107's ass. Yeah. Mr. Custer couldn't get the... who couldn't he get? Who's he responsible for last time? Karma's coming to collect. And then we have all these weirdos in the military too, you know. They don't want to actually own up. And who knows, I don't know anybody for sure, but I know that there are these fucking big old burly men that want to pretend to be all like, oh, I'm so tough, I'm so big, but I like to stick my dick in another man's rectum. Oh, but I'm sporting it as looking like a woman because I'm too fucking embarrassed. I don't want people to know that I bury my dick balls deep in another man's ass. Yeah, I'm not nice, and I can be a little bit vulgar, but hey, God made me like this. We're not going to be pretend men that want to pretend, these closet homosexuals. And then they've got to deal with the fucking freaks. I'm a woman! No, you have a dick with tits. You're not a woman. You're delusional and you need mental help. Just because you want to dress like a woman and pretend to be a woman doesn't make you a woman. It makes you mental. And again, it's the genetically modified foods. It's the preliminary program with the monarch shit on television. It's Disney with their penises and their 666s in everything. It's all subliminal. Humans are so easily programmable. And this is why they wanted to keep us from knowing the power of our thoughts. As long as they can create a scenario like the fake fucking... The government took down the Twin Towers. Who got elected that position because he's willing to sacrifice how many people? It was offered to the Freemason that was a freak, but it was all of them. Okay, who's the mastermind behind it? Appears those ones that went after my father and were siphoning off his life force and tried to make this country great when this country needs healing, the biggest healing, and that's why we're here, because we're going to heal those that can still actually be healed. But for me, my priority is the freaking soldiers that have been lied to and that this fuckhead wanted to sacrifice in a fake fucking Jewish war. Jews are evil. They are these reptilian fucking humanoids that sacrifice children. They believe in eating flesh and drinking blood brings them closer to God. That's their satanic God. That's their Baal Baphomet agenda. The Pope is a fucking Satanist, okay? That's why they're the Midas. They have that thing on the staff. They sacrifice children. They sodomize children. We know this, but religion always puts it underground. And then we have the weirdo fucking Muslims, the old nasty, old disgusting men that want to marry pubescent little girls. And everybody's like, oh, in the name of religion, it's okay. No, that bullshit's ending. We're protecting children. Fuck your religion. And a Jew, they all do the synagogue of Satan. They are not sacrificing a soldier anywhere for a fake fucking war. The Jews are going out. God has taken them out. They are evil. They do not serve our creator God. They serve reptilians. And those other fucking weirdos. The greys and the other fucking labia and leg sluts that can't keep their legs closed and then want to, oh, they forced me. No, you did it to your damn self. You don't have to be a slut. You chose to be one. Because these assholes took everything from me. My home, my family, everything, to try and push me into prostitution. I ain't selling myself for nothing. So they're not going to use that as an excuse. And that's why, oh, she's such a bitch. She's so angry. No, I'm assertive and I'm passionate. Okay, so this is the next one. This is the Gateway of the Light Activation Oracle. And yeah, we have the Akashic Records. Oh, I guess I'm a gene decoder. I don't know, I'm still trying to piece this shit together because I am left here on my lonesome to figure this out. I'm like the Helen Keller of the spirit world, only Helen Keller, and it wasn't blind. It was just another thing to play on your emotions and manipulate your consciousness. Okay, so the Akashic Records is clearing all story, releasing past lives and freedom. So, again, we are reconnecting with all of our previous incarnations. Well, the gods are. Those of us that actually know and are doing the work. That's why it's being reactivated in our DNA. And then we have to deal with the arseholes that, are you not how you are? Those in the can't clap my hands together club. That have like a whole fucking whopping 2-digit IQ and the whole 5 brain cells that don't synapse. They're like... I don't know, the lights are on and the hamster wheel is there, but it ain't fucking connecting. I don't know. I sound like I'm such a bitch. I'm not. It's just like, I promise you, it's like talking to a brick wall. You cannot. Don't even waste your breath. Just, we are coming together. Those of us that are capable of thinking and that have common sense. And we are reactivating this in the original bloodlines. I'm not the only one that's putting puzzle pieces together. And there are other people that are putting this shit together as well. And realizing this is a bloodline war. This is, what's your blood type? This is the worst thing. We have to excuse me, what's your blood type? No, not only do we have to ask them if they have a dick underneath their clothes, if it's pretending to be a woman or vice versa. We now actually have to start asking people, what's your blood type? To kind of gauge more or less of their cognition. Again, we're going to fix this, okay? They have to recalibrate the med beds and they have to wait for me to do that. They can't do it without me. The med beds are going to reset our children's DNA and undo the vaccination damage, because you're not going to make a generation of geniuses into vegetables because of this shit. Not that a vegetable is bad. A vegetable is actually really, really good for you. We should say meat suits, just walking bacon. How about that? Oh wait, them Gestapo fucks are going to get fried here pretty soon. Because they're fucking criminals. They hurt American people. They handle people in the community. They force people into drugging and all that. That's what the Pelosi's are. Pelosi, if you check in her old history, she goes all the way to the fucking mafia and the Al Pacinos or Al Capones or whatever. They don't know how to... They're all corrupt. She's the one that funds MS-13 that brings the drugs into everyone. Oh, yeah, it's your government that are forcing the cartel. It's just all fucked up. They're all going tits up anyway, so we don't have to worry, because our children will, and our grandchildren will, live in a world where they can run down the road and go play in the park, where I know that my kid is going down the street and they're going to be safe. Not have some pedophile that hides in a fucking church mess with them, because they're all getting rounded up and executed, because that's what they deserve. Shambhala initiations is retreating to recharge and trusting in the process is Dharma. That's where we're coming. You will not sacrifice soldiers in a fake Jewish war. No, no, no. For all them bend over rovers and pretend men and women, I think not. The real men will get their voice back, and they're standing up to the deep throaters. I really got a good old giggle when a dude called Crenshaw that with his little jaw. The insanity of all of this. But hey, it's the Great Awakening. It's losing the illusion, shaking us up to realize we're living a fucking lie, and kill the ego and be reborn in Christ. People that have committed crimes throughout their life and that are manipulators and that, the ones that we see through, they're the ones that are getting their penises all puckered up and freaking the fuck out because they're caught. All those innocent people that they put in jail, they're gonna pay for it. And that's what they're scared of. because they think they're going to have a glorious life in jail. They're not. I don't even think they're going to make it. I still think they'd have to die for us to live. That because they harvest from our energy, like we are their battery source, and the only way for us to get our energy back is to cut them off, which the vampires. So, adios, muchachos! Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. You will not sacrifice soldiers in a fake fucking Jewish war for religious purposes. They are God's children. They are not your fucking blood sacrifice. Fucking ludicrous Jews. They're the chosen race to die. Because their fucking Jesus is a fucking weirdo. Order of Melchizedek. Embrace the light. Mission uncovered. Don't give up. Yeah, we are the Melchizedekians. That's the blue flames. That's the blue. Blue is our favorite color because we're the sky people. We are open and honest and free-spirited, and we speak the truth, and we irritate the fuck out of people just because we're real. Dun, dun, dun. And that's the only requirement on this planet, is to be real. I like this card, actually. Look, there's a partial shukre in the middle over there. This is the light of God is rising in his children. We hear the call, we stand up, and we're not putting up with pussies no more. Excuse me, yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with me. I'm a little odd, especially now today. I feel it. I feel it. We're growing. We're going. We're rolling in a new world. And then reptilians are freaking out because they caught. We have them all cornered, and now they're like, oh, we can still win. We can still win. We can still do this. Yeah, it's those whole fucking, 5 brain cells that aren't nogging. They misfiring because they've lost. There's still an EMP. I still get this. There's still a boom coming because it was released from Alpha Centauri when the wow signal reverberated through the heavens on August 16th of 1977. I was 3.5 years old. They came from my tonsils. That's my voice. That's my immunity. And who faked his death taking a shit that night? Oh, Elvis Presley. Let's see. Elvis Presley. Evil's Presley. He's the major groomer that was willing to sacrifice the divine feminine, which was me. When Bob Joyce came after me, the tranny that's its daughter went tits up with a double cardiac arrest because it was a fucking double whammy on its cold black heart. Because they put all that magic and tried to hit it on me, and it backfired. So the thing's heart exploded. Woohoo! Yippee-ki-yay! Next! No, I'm not incompassionate. I'm not feelingless. These are things that want to kill our children. I don't give a fuck. They die. Or they fake their death so that they could go underneath the dams. And those earthquakes that are registering now, they all escape down there. But the good military, I have to believe this, have been rigging this shit up for years. And since they drown out the A-positive bloodlines, which is the most ancient allele, because we're the ancient strands of gods on this earth, that's why they came for us. And they created a flood. They built up that Antarctic wall, which is actually, it's not a continent, it's a wall around us. And they flooded us out. And it's taken us all of this time, all of 12 eons, and we're going into the 13th, which is the end of their Quetzalcoatl bullshit. That's the serpent in the sky, right? That's the movement of the celestial bodies across the sky. We've come full circle. We will bring in the new era of the 13 months of the I am the Ophiuchian starseed. That's why they want me dead so bad, because we're beyond time. We are from before this time, because we are the time travelers. It's a projection of our consciousness. We existed before this time matrix, and it's coded in it's coded in our DNA. It's the universe, you-inverse. It's the universe in us. It's coded in our DNA. It's through all of our ancestral bloodlines. We are the natural angels of this earth. They are the spliced and diced mind manipulators. Then we have the Seraphim Gateway. So Seraphim is also a group of angels, but we are the Oraphim. We are above them. The Arcturians make me think of the archangels, the blue people. We are the ancient civilizations. It's coded in our DNA. We have vast knowledge. We are reactivating that intelligence. We are the intelligent life forms that have been subdued and oppressed on this earth. We are the ancient civilizations. It's coded in our DNA. So the Seraphim is also makes up that the Kabbalah, right, which is based on death. We don't need to die. We are eternal beings. And again, it goes back to the whole Fibonacci and the trajectory of PHI, which is 1.68 versus our true trajectory of the Pythagorean algorithms, or my codes, which are the Isisian codes. Because again, it's coded in our DNA. The genes of Isis are the ones that are being reactivated in all of my people, our people, my brothers and sisters, and our children. It's in us. It's a spirit in us. They can't take it away. So the Oraphim, like I said above them, it's a voice activation, angelic attunement, and divine support. My voice is the activator of the super soldiers, and this is why they tried to stop my voice. That's why they had a reptilian pretend to be a super soldier activator when he wasn't. And he's a reptoid, and he was harvesting off of us. So a lot of us, I guess, are part of the 20 bag, and I haven't recovered those memories yet because they keep wiping them out. And that's why, you know, before the Twin Towers went down, there was a shift right before that. I felt it. And again, it's what these reptilians do. They reset time when they didn't like that the outcome wasn't going to be in their favor. So they thought they had it. And that split-second decision of mine in Dallas, when I saw Michael Brian Putzman, and I just didn't get a feeling. He was walking, some dude with a black hat was walking next to him. And he just gave me the creeps. And I was like, getting master manipulator, kept infiltrating. My thought was master manipulator. So I pulled out the gematria, and the second line was -48. And then there was a chick that came to stay with me on the boat, Peggy. And then she even had the fucking audacity to say to me, he cares about the children. I thought you cared about the children so much. Well, the fucking bitch was part of this group of people working against me. So anyway, we went, and I said they wanted me to stay in a house in Capel where they were going to murder me, I'm sure, because I'm now coming to the realization that nobody that actually came into my life was here for my greater good. So they sent in this fucking horde of bitches, witches, whatever you want to call them. The thing was sleeping on my boat. I threw everything away it gave me, and I thought it was my friend, but it wasn't. It was working for my opposition. Again, they said they wanted me to stay in Capel at a house, and she goes, "Oh, you can just sleep next to me." I don't sleep next to anybody because I don't want their fucking scabies. I'm so meticulous about stuff like that. I'm not just going to sleep in a bed that I don't know who slept in before, and I'm certainly as fuck not going to sleep next to a woman that I don't. I'm sorry. And I was like, no, I'm not staying that. So then there was another person that I met, and he was so nice. I wish I remembered the gentleman. He's a Hispanic gentleman in Dallas. He was very nice. And then we had the weirdos, Mr. Carpenter, that was fucking starving his dog to death. Like, no, animals have got to only eat fruit. And I'm like, anyway. He was also one of the ops that was sent in to work against me, apparently, with this -48. Because Justin Carpenter was directly affiliated with him. So I'm surrounded by these people that had nefarious intentions. But anyway, I sat there, and there was this other chick that got her pussy all puckered up as well. She was like some military chick, didn't like what I said. And but she was also the one that had already prior to that told me that she had gotten me a ticket for the Rolling Stones concert. It was all a setup. They needed to sacrifice me because they needed it to finish where it started, and that was with the fake JFK assassination, where it wasn't. They always fake their deaths, and I'm not quite sure who he transformed into after, you know, he pulled the piss out of everybody. They're not Kennedys anyway. They are Clooney infiltrators and usurpers and fucking liars. So they needed it to finish, and that's what -48 was saying. Oh, we're going to do the big reveal of JFK and JFK Jr. Yeah, them motherfuckers needed to sacrifice me so they could transfer my consciousness. They'd already bought my damn organs on the black market, and they torture us to death. They just give you a paralytic because they want you to feel as much pain as you possibly can, because then there's more adrenaline. copious amount of adrenaline being pushed into your vasculature, and it's oxidizing your blood. That's their elite form of adrenochrome. So then they were going to eat my flesh and drink my blood in the remembrance of their fucked up religion. And they were going to sacrifice the divine feminine. So when that one went tits up, then they introduced the backup. Their backup was the Quetzalcoatl, which is this insane fucking Elvis Presley that took a shit when he faked his death. He took a shit on 9/11, which is my son, because my youngest son is the root of all of this. Fuck these people. They are disgusting. Once you can see through their symbolism. Our children, whoever my messages resonate with, we have Magi Grail Crystal Indigo children. They are the kings and the queens. There's no, it's not a superior thing. They don't think that they're better. They just are. It's a consciousness, and this is what we're all tapping into. It's a love vibration. It's where we all want the same thing. We are kind and caring and compassionate, but we also stand up for what's not. And we stand up against it. We're like, no, that's not okay. Because of the consequence. Once you identify, and people want to call you self-righteous, it's not. It's like when you can participate that somebody's actions can cause another person harm, and you don't stop them, you're guilty by association. That's why I don't care what people, if they don't like what I say, I have to speak the truth. If they are doing something that could potentially cause the demise or the hurt of another person or their children or their property, it goes against universal principles. It goes against universal law. There's a consequence. You reap what you sow. It's reciprocity. They create their reality because they set out with nefarious intentions, and that's what it all backs up. Okay, so Hathor light codes. Light immersion is a full system upgrade, and it's a power recall. This is what we're doing. Each day you call back all of your power, and I like this. I call back all of my power in the brightest white and clearest light in the form of the blue light of Melchizedek, with the blessings of spirit of our creator, and we pull back all of our energy in its purity, clean and bright, and then we stop and block any negativity from infiltrating our auric field, and we return that to center. It's how the quantum works. What you put into the field is what you get back. That's why only those that walk in authenticity can tap into the quantum, because they're real. People that are fake can't be real, and those are the ones that have to do the reckoning. They have to do the internal work until they are real, so that they can evolve. So we getting there. Oh, you see, and they have to die so that we can live, because we need our energy back. The voices, the singing, the music, they harvest those abilities from us. It don't belong to them. They are not creations of God. They are not creators. They can't create. They have to harvest, because they don't have souls. Because again, if they had a soul, we wouldn't have hungry children all over the world. We wouldn't have the American Red Cross trafficking them for slaughter for their adrenochrome. Oh, going back to, these fucking weirdos in Dallas that tried to lure me down there for the great reveal of JFK. Not happening. So that's what they did. They needed to. It's shocking. And they kept saying we needed to end where it began. These are reptilian archons. JFK Jr., Clooney, or whatever, he is Marduk. He is Set. They're evil. These things are shapeshifters, okay? And if you think of George W. Bush, he was, his code name was Timberwolf. Yeah, because they shapeshift. This is why I tell all the other light workers, do not fear. They can do nothing to us. If they come into our presence, they are forced to tell the truth. Just pay attention. People always tell you what they're doing. Like the fucking old arsehole that came in, Mr. Holder, that was paid by these asshats to come and record me, right? This fool, he asked me, can I record you for my judge and lawyer friends? And I said, yeah. But he's either dumb or stupid, and he didn't remember telling me that, or I read his mind. And this is where it gets freaky, because that happens a lot as well. Sometimes my son will come into a room, and this happened in the past. He'd come into the room and I'd answer a question, and he'd just stand and look at me and goes, I didn't ask the question yet. So this is what they fear, is because they expose themselves. It's the same thing with another dude that they try and set me up. They try and mock God by sending in a dude with a jeep and a boat that was probably also contracted to hurt me in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. I don't really care. He was a liar anyway. And this is the thing. There's consequences to these actions. I've had all these people come out and are not able to unalive me because I'm a pure soul. And I guess there's something about my spirit that deters them, that they know God said, touch not my anointed. And that's why the wow signal reverberated from Alpha Centauri, and that signal is still going to hit. So that's why, you know, the Flappuccino flappers and the penis pucker uppers are all screwed, because it's their Armageddon. They don't get anything, and we're not going to cry for people that have tried to hurt and harm our children and siphon their life force and program them to believe that this weird religion is real. Religion is a lie. It's a form of mind control. It's a form of division. It's the worst form of MK Ultra. Something that's dead cannot get up and walk. And if it possessed a soul, you would run the fuck away, because I'm sure 99% of the population haven't seen a thing that's been dead for 3 days. Okay? If it were to get up and walk, it would scare the shit out of you. It wasn't there to save your soul. Each one of us is a child of God, and we know that we are responsible for our own actions. It's dharma. It's karma. You reap what you sow. We try and put in the universe the goodness. But if somebody comes up to you and says, oh my God, we've got to kill this person because they're going against our belief. Yeah, that's not your call. That's why their whole bloodlines are going bye-bye. And that's why they sat up there and said, nothing can stop what's coming. They didn't say, oh yeah, we fucked up so bad. We touched God's anointed, the purest soul on this earth, and now we're getting wiped out. Dun, 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 dun. Just like those fucking evil fucks in South Africa that Charlize Theron, with its wang, was the handler of. She was Julius Malema's handler. The American government and the military were funding the murder and slaughter of our people. They taught them the most heinous ways on hurting people. They are demonic. They are evil. And that's why there's so many of them, that the EMP, the shift, the earth is transcending too. It's like, we're not stationary, but we're not spinning on a ball either. We just are. The earth is evolving. She's waking up. As those of us that live on this earth in a synergistic energetic field, we become one with our earth, with our source, with God. And authenticity is that you have to give up worldly things in order to access the heavenly gates. Those heavenly gates is the pineal gland, which is the lamp of your soul. And they can't stop our awakening, since they weren't able to sacrifice me. My confirmation that Bob Joyce is not for me was the fact that Lisa Marie Presley went tits up. And then, you know, the realization of the 33rd, you know, his death being... There's symbolism in everything, okay? He took a shit dying, or taking a dump on the divine feminine, knowing that he was going to sacrifice me at this time. The only thing is, it's not happening. When I put my name in with Donald Trump and Elvis Presley, it comes to 449, but I'm not convinced that those are actually their real names. So, a lot of manipulation. But then again, I am going to view this from a higher perspective. If these things were born of a woman, let's say Miss Love wanted, you know, to live a life of fame and fortune and be these Hollywood actors and actresses, and they say, oh, but this is our religion. You know, if in order, God will bless you with all of these riches. And again, this is how easily gullible humans are, and their mind manipulated. Oh, we have this new technology. This is our Baal Baphomet God. This is, you know, this is the Bible story. You know, if you let us alter your child and make them in the image of our God, we will make sure that they have riches. So they start in utero gender reassignment, and they turn women into men and vice versa. And then they have the other ones when they have like The Voice or American Idol, and they have our children up there for the fucking pickings to see whose spirit they can harvest. They take our children in there. I'm sure Adele isn't even who Adele is. Adele went in there performing on one sense, and then they go in, they sacrifice their soul to Hollywood. These are cannibals. They harvest them, they eat their flesh and drink their blood, and then they transfer their consciousness to a clone that they create on Epstein Island. It's a lot to wrap your brain around, but this is what the reality that we're going to have to wake up to. That fucking old bitch on the television that was like, Epstein did this and Epstein molested me, blah blah blah. She's a crisis actor. She's part of the Hollywood shit. She gets paid to lie. The thing probably didn't even commit suicide. Again, it's to play on the emotions of the people. Epstein probably had a vagina too. And him and that other apparition is part of Mossad, which is Israeli intelligence. Which again is Israel, Jew. That fucking crap religion of theirs is a clone religion. And again, it goes to, as a female, they make 7 male clones. That's 7 spirits of God, which is not that at all. It's the 7 chakra systems. It's the 7 places of balance within our bodies. The balls of love, the 7 colors of the rainbow, the 7 days of the week, the 7 music notes. So we're calling back our power to ourselves. We are lighting up our DNA. And the more we embrace our reality that's being real, the more the fake people expose themselves. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to off themselves because these are corrupt officials that would rather be dead than go to jail. And that's okay too. They've done horrible things. They can't face the consequences of their actions, and this is what the Great Awakening is. I don't know how people think they're going to go through their whole life and steal and lie and it never come back on them. Again, it's a low-grade human. It's somebody that doesn't have intelligence. They have single-digit IQs or double-digit IQs if they're lucky. Again, it sounds like, I'm so hateful. I'm really not. It's just the genetically modified foods, the vaccines have really created low-quality humans, and that they're sick, okay? And the only way we can help them heal is to expand their consciousness by telling them what's really going on in the world. Some of them are not going to be able to handle it mentally because, again, God told us not to have idols, and they love Elvis, and they love JFK, and they love Donald, and they love this Mickey Mouse and that fuck up, and it's just, and the P. Diddy here. It's all of them. It's all of them. And here's another thing. Yes, they're all guilty, right? They all are. But why are they only pulling forward all the black people? Why? Because they're also part of a, there's that book called Rules for Radicals that Saul Alinsky wrote, and that is got to do with that bird dude that Clinton was affiliated with. They're all part of the Ku Klux Klan. They're pulling in all the black people, right, to sacrifice them. So that these things don't have black DNA in them. All of the positive bloodlines do. I mean, do I look black? No. Do I have black in me? Oh yeah. Of course we do. But again, you know, we have to lose the race card because we've been all cultures, all colors. We've lived thousands of its incarnations. It's in our DNA. Lose the race card. We've all been slaves. The deep state reptilians, assholes, we've all been slaves, and now we wake up to it. We have no more chips on the shoulders. We're going to make this world a better place for our children, and that's the bottom line. And we're going to take back what belongs where it belongs. We have to put back what was stolen so that we can reset the world and make it a beautiful place like it was in the crystalline age. We're going to rebuild it. We're going to take back access to our technologies, which they've dampened. 300,000 years ago, we had cell phones, we had USB boards, we had the cloaking technologies that they show you on Harry Potter. They have stolen that from us. Next, macabre activation, transcendence, ascension. You are rising up. Yes, 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 you all are. We're finding that love code within us, and we're embracing who God made us in our purest form of honesty and integrity. because we truly, truly want this world to be a better place and the best place it can be. Man, this one's like really gotten up there. Try and hurry up. And then the Akashic Stargate, aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. Yep, because it's always going to lead us back to home when we follow how God guides us and pay attention. We're living in a simulation. The earth speaks to us. Like I have a blue jay sitting in the tree outside watching me. Hey, blue jay! Birds are our communicators. And that's why I know that 5G was never activated, because we didn't have any more birds and bees die off like we did with the 4G. And there's been this war between the white hats and the black hats, or the pure souls and the impure souls, where they wanted to activate the 5G towers, but they never did, because we're needing to reactivate the Tesla towers of 432 hertz. Again, that's a technology that doesn't belong to America. It was stolen. They cannot use the spiritual and intellectual property of others for a country of Satanists to benefit. It's unfair, it's immoral, it's unjust, and it's based on stolen property. Intellectually, spiritually, physically, it doesn't matter. Tesla technologies have to be utilized to benefit everybody or nobody. And that is my divine right, and I can make that call. They wanted to use, they've used it for nefarious things. Again, so we're going to undo this stuff. We reset the mad bands. We're going to make this world a beautiful place with everything where it benefits everybody, not just these reptiles. And this is what they did. They never planned on giving the positive bloodlines anything. They planned on putting us in jail so that these reptoid races could live. And now we just spun it all around, because now them motherfuckers are going to go and be arrested and prosecuted and executed for crimes against humanity, because they should have left me alone. Prior to the agreement of coming to help humanity, it was based on a sole contract and one sole purpose, that I not be touched under any circumstances. And what did they do? They did it anyway. That's why they sit there and flap their jaw with, nothing can stop what's coming. Yeah, it's their demise. And everybody that buys into their rhetoric. Because a child of God, which is a soldier that's pure of heart, that is Christed, will not be sacrificed in a fake Jewish war for people that believe a fucking pope that sodomizes children, and they support this religion of drinking blood and eating flesh that's totally cannibalistic at the expense of our children, where they are sacrificing children. They steal the innocence of children. It's not happening. Okay, guardians of the land is protection. Yes, these are the ones that are stepping up now. Our real men and women that are standing up and taking a stand, because we're not putting up with the pretenses anymore. They are good, pure souls that are being targeted by evil, nefarious folks in the government. And it's so multi-layered. It's so deep that, you know, I always thought all soldiers were good. I promise you. I did, until I realized that some of them only join the military because they detonate pipe bombs in government buildings, so they have to oh, I don't want to go to jail, so I'm gonna be a bitch and I'm gonna go to the military. And then the Freemasons are like, ooh, we have a corrupt one here, let's warp his little mind and he can be our little puppet. Why? Oh, what does it take to be a Freemason? They all lay around in coffins at in the satanic sect of it, and all lay around jacking off. I mean, these are homosexuals. They have these sex orgies. They are disgusting, okay? The Jewish rabbis suck little penises when they have circumcised boys. It's a fresh form of adrenochrome. We don't support child abuse and child mutilation. Next up is the eagle spirit. Freedom! Whoop, whoop. It sure is. Look, our number is 13th. We headed into the 13th dimensions. in density 5 and 6 and 7, or we'll just do density 5, which is the fifth world, which is a light being, which means we're not putting up with evil anymore. We're not dying, we are evolving. The old us is dying because we're evolving into the new world. We're being reborn into the Christ that God made you, if you heed the call and you hear the call. And then we also have a Pegasus and the Pegasus Syrians. It's a beautiful time. I can't wait for them to come in. I know the DA and the ICE folks are coming, and again, it's like they show you a miscommunication on the television, but they're coming to herd them up. Everybody's been watched for many years. You know, they track everything. That's why they already have the cases built up against these people. So when they come, I think, you know, this will probably be the last one, the last arrest, because it has to finish where it started. I guess it started in Hollywood, California, and it ends in a different kind of Hollywood. But again, it's the beauty of how God created it, his grand design. They are done for, and this is how the whole system gets taken down in one shot. They've all built the cases against them. Those that have come up against us automatically get eliminated from the system, or from the quantum financial system. It's not a free-for-all. It's only for the pure part. And not the ones that, you know, also I've heard so many people like, I want that med bed. I'm sick of being this, but they're not doing anything to actually try and be better. They just want a quick fix, and that mentality has to change. They actually, for me, and I feel strongly about this, that those soldiers have first dibs on the med beds so that we can reset their DNA, because they're not fucking herd animals that they went and shoved every single recodable DNA recoding vaccination into them. It was nothing to do with health and wellness. It's got to do with recoding your DNA. The soldiers, the good ones, well, they get first dibs on the med beds, since they were the ones that were selected to be sacrificed, and now they are not. Why am I opting for them to be the first ones to have med beds? Because it makes the most sense. Because they are the real men and the real protectors and the real women and that are heeding the call. So the more of us that are in a healthy state and are consciously aware of the magnitude of what's going on, need to be in our optimal health. So the soldiers will have first dibs. And then we will go on to who are our future leaders. This will be the children and our children that will then go ahead and will have the vaccination damages undone. A lot of our children will naturally heal of it because we're regenerating cells faster. And then it could be for, you know, the slugs at the back. They don't actually want to make a concerted effort. They've just been programmed to believe that this is a quick fix. And these are the same ones that will go to fucking Walmart and sit on a cart and drive along there, and the only shit that they buy are sodas, sugar, like nothing else. And it's like, that is not something that is a part of a functional society. Just like the 15 generations of losers that have been siphoning and off of the government, they're actually going to have to get up their asses and do something. This isn't a free-for-all. It's time to grow up. Next is the hummingbird, which is a joy. Hummingbirds are beautiful, and we are hummingbirds. And I always think of Patrick for some reason with the hummingbirds. I guess because they were so energetic and powerful little packages of energy. I know that there's spiritual meaning in all of this, and this is why I got sidetracked earlier on. So if Donald was born with a vagina, but his mother altered him, and Donald was the same, they actually stole them of their dignity and of their ability to ever be real. Okay? So they took away their sovereignty and their free will before birth. but that doesn't negate or release them of the consequences of the actions that they pursued and ensued, involving to try and get rid of the divine feminine. That is why their bloodlines are cursed, and that is why the Baphomet and the Baal goodies are going bye-bye, because we're not playing in a pretend world anymore. These people have mental health issues. This is all mental induction or manipulation of changes to our DNA. And I've said it again, I'll reiterate. It's the vaccinations to recode our DNA to push a Baphomet agenda. That's why our sons are growing breast tissue when they're 13, and they shouldn't be. The other aspect of that is the treated water with the calcium, the fluoride, and the estrogen. The genetically modified foods. We don't need to genetically modify what God provided for us in pure form, right? Then there's subliminal programming, and then there's the religion, and then there's the pharmaceuticals. These are all mind-bending and altering things. We do not need to take these people seriously. They cannot be taken seriously because they are altered. The only people that can be in leadership positions are those that are pure. No drugs, no alcohol, no dead things that manipulate. We are not governed or controlled by any principality. Water spirit is the manifesting dreams. It's 4 and 6 is a 10. There's an otter. Otters are absolutely beautiful animals. I love them. That's one of my favorite. I do think it's one of my spirit animals. And while I'm thinking about that, I want to see what that means. Let me grab a book. Okay, so an otter as a spirit animal. Hang on, I have, oh, there. So an otter is a woman medicine. So we have this, it is a water spirit, and it's manifesting dreams. This is why we have to all be on the same wavelength. We want what's best for our children. We want the very best for them, because, you know, our children are the best of the best, and they deserve the best. And we need to help the children that are stuck in homes where they're abused and broken. You know, we will help them, and we will give them a place of love to where they know what love is. Coming from somebody that has no idea, but that's my wish. I don't know what love feels like because of the physical abuse I endured, and being told that I beat you because I love you. And then there's the whole other aspects. It just it's just one of those things that we're still, you know, trying to heal from. So anyway, the otter, they're very playful. I'm so playful, co-raised by this dream, the medicine of woman, the realized dream. Woman medicine. The medicine held by otter is a set of lessons in female energy. This applies to both men and women, as all of us have female sides. The otter's hide The otter's hide is very often used to make medicine bags for powerful women because it represents balanced female energy. No, okay, we're not dressing ourselves or using the hides of animals anymore. We're not going to breed them for slaughter, because God has given us hemp. Hemp can be grown and made into the most durable fabrics. Ropes are made from hemp as well. We don't need to take the life of beings to wear their skin. Okay, otter is very caring, and it's young. I'm gonna read. Hold on, my throat keeps closing up. There's like, I'm not wanting to get this message out, but we're gonna do it. Okay, otter is very caring of its young and will play for hours, performing all types of acrobatics. It lives on land, but always has its home near water. The elements of earth and water are the female elements. At home in both of these elements, otter is the personification of femininity, long, sleek, and graceful. Otter is the true croquet of the animal world. Otter is always on the move and is very curious. Unlike other animals, otter will not start a fight unless it is attacked first. Sounds like us, huh? Okay, this joyful little creature is adventuresome and assumes that all other creatures are friendly. until proven otherwise. Yeah, kind of sounds like me. Always expect the best in everybody and then they turn around and stab you in the back. Hey, what's new? Okay, these character traits are the beauty of a balanced female side. The side of ourselves that creates a space for others to enter our lives without preconceptions or suspicions. Otter teaches us that balanced female energy is not jealous or catty. It is sisterhood, content to enjoy and share the good fortune of others, anchored in the understanding that all accomplishments are worthwhile for the whole tribe. Otter people express joy for others. Long ago, in tribal law, if a woman were widowed, her sister would offer her own husband to the widow as a lover to keep her from drying up and not using her creative urges. Yeah, we don't share spouses, okay? That's like, that's where we were misled. It's disgusting. That's not, that's probably something, a new belief that needs to be embraced. Well, that's not good. The intention is, but yeah. And that's why sex is so important, the sacred energy exchange, because that's how we create. That's why they harvest from us. That's why the fuckers came after me a few years ago, dropped my temperature so that they could harvest my energy for their whores, their honeypots. The ones that open their legs for payment. This Otter medicine too, and hold on, I lost my train of thought or where I was. Okay, this Otter medicine too. Okay, envy or the fear of being replaced has no space in Otter's balanced understanding of sharing goodness. Woman energy without games or control is a beautiful experience. That's cool. I like it. Otters. They're so fun. They're so joyful. But yep, that's who we are. We are peaceful. And we will do whatever we can to help anybody until you show us who you are, and then we're not nice. And then it's on them. They have this thing with unconditional love. No, once you show me who you are, you make my love conditional. And then we have the ancient oak spirit, which is the strength. It is. We always have trees. Trees are vital. And, look, there's the Yggdrasil tree. There's that tree in Israel. There's always a tree. And we are the trees of wisdom and knowledge. And then we got the fire spirit, which is energy, which is me. I'm a Sagittarius, and there's my number again. Is 17. There's a lot of green in this card. That's the heart chakra. That is the love that we feel within. And yeah, I'm going to protect those that need protection. And as we roll in the new world, we're going to make this world a better place for our children. Then we got the thicket of thorns, which is uncertainty. There's 3 butterflies. Of course, the future always looks uncertain because it's something we've never dealt with before. This is why, communities will come in with like-minded people. We get rid of the bad and we'll reel in the new. And I do feel like all this stuff is going to, this death to this religion has to come to an end over this Christmas. And then we reel in the new here when we reset the time, which is, my son's birth. My oldest son is Shane. His actual birthday is the Pythagorean, is on Pi Day. And he is also of the King Arthur bloodline. And then converging with mine is the Merovingian bloodlines. My son is a future leader. Shane is also a variation of John. These assholes have been trying to hurt me and my children because of our calling. And that's why they get exterminated. No ifs, ands, or buts. And all the other soldiers that are of the divine bloodlines will get back what's rightfully theirs. Because it has to be done. You can't sink a fucking Titanic with everybody of wealth on it so that JP Morgan can steal whatever everybody wants, because there were 3 folks on the Titanic that opposed starting the Federal Reserve Bank. So, the ASAT and the Illuminati figured, well, we'll just sink it all. And it wasn't even the Titanic that sank. It was their sister ship, the Olympus, that took damage in the shipyard. Everybody of wealth that had anything was lured onto the ship. They had the intention of sinking it so that they could get possession of everybody's wealth. And JP Morgan could control it with the Carnegies and the rest of the fuck ups, right? So they sank the Titanic because also there was some people, I think Astor was one of them, that opposed starting the Federal Reserve Bank that illegally taxes the American population. So that's why they sank the Titanic, and that is why your taxes are due on the same day that the Titanic sank. It's their satanic ritual. It's their hey, look what we did, now we control you all. And yeah, that's not happening no more. The Macy's, the Isidores, those bloodlines, the Henry Fords, the original bloodlines get back what is rightfully theirs. It doesn't belong to the reptilians. And that's why God chose me, because I am fair. I'm like Snow White. I am pure. I am fair. And there's nothing you can do to manipulate my mind to be unfair to anybody. It's not happening. And that's why I am chosen, and that's why I'm anointed, and that's why I'm filling in the position that God put me on this earth to do. I don't care if people don't like it. I will be a voice until the soldiers find their voice. They have a right to tell the truth so that they can learn and grow as well. You're not going to hurt people and make them responsible for innocent lives when they were given false information to begin with. The people that gave them the false information are the reptilians, are the ones, the men with tits. They are the ones that are responsible for misleading the masses. Our soldiers are not they're not a real life cannon fodder in a real life game of Risk, where it's got nothing to do with war. It's sacrifice. They're all on the same team. Fucking Eisenhower was selling our soldiers into slavery to Mars in the 30s and then telling everybody their kids died. Where meanwhile they slaves somewhere. No. This is why it's so much bigger. You can't even wrap your head around some of it. But it's ending. And yeah, the people that want to know the truth will be able to find the truth. But other than that, it's too much. Then we have the unicorn, which is purity. And then it's 45. Yes, Donald Trump is dead. He has been dead. I think the military has been using me because of my fairness. And I don't know. I haven't been very nice in some of my observations. But again, when you realize that your country was targeted, you were targeted since before you drew breath, with them in sacrificing your entire country, it's a little bit difficult to be nice. But once you evolve and grow from that, and you realize that every nation has been oppressed by the same group of people, and we can't continue to point fingers. We might as well just bury the fucking hatchet, and those of us that rise up above it, we bury it in the past. It's done. We're not digging it up anymore, because every single one of us was born into slavery, and now we know slaves no more. We were all controlled by these negative aliens with their negative alien agenda, and we have overcome that. That's the most important thing. So yeah, the purity and the unicorns. Oh, Secret Spring is the success, which is 7. 45, I guess since they offed Donald Trump in 2020 on October 2nd, when he went into Walter Reed, they transferred his consciousness to a clone. There are no more clones, so the clone is degrading, I guess. So this reminds me of Tinkerbell as well. We're sharing sparkle wherever we go. We wake people up because it's our calling, and they either learn and grow or they don't. It's their choice. And then because everybody has free will, right? We can give you the information. What you do with it is your business. But I've had people come, I'm doing my spiritual journey, and I've had people come and interject themselves into my energetic field, and then because they get exposed, they want to hurt me. Stay in your own fucking lane. Oh, wait! My mission was to expose you. Why? Because I am the Pa'ana from the East. I am the white buffalo woman. It's coded in my DNA. I'm a Heoka. I'm a healer. I'm funny to some, and and I am offensive to others. If I offend you, that probably means you have some healing to do. If you find me funny, hey, then we Heokas. Let's do this. My intention is never ever to hurt anyone. It's not in my heart. So if what I say hurts your feelings, then it's something based in your belief system that needs addressing. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. But again, this is how we learn and grow. That's what repentance means. This is the thing. I don't know how people can just like boldface go up and lie and lie and lie and lie, because it bothers my conscience so much. And normal, real people, it just does. And that's why we see through the weirdos, you know, the narcissists, the ones that think they're so fucking clever, and only to realize that they're doing themselves in. And then we have the crystal cave, which is dressed, which is 9, which is most high. We have forgot this. Look, there's a beautiful, colorful bird in the back corner as well. This is the Great Awakening. This is us realigning with our true selves, with our higher selves. This is where our subconscious, this reality and our upper consciousness, everything's coming together in one. Or we all, it's multi-dimensional, and we've lived through all space and time. Not everybody though, because some people have new souls, some people don't have souls, some people have unevolvable souls, and then those that sold their souls. And then we have these poor individuals that, you know, I'm going to call them poor because they've lived lives of pretend to be something that they've not. I mean, I can't imagine having to deal with that. But again, you know, once we know better, we do better. We forgive them. I forgive them, but God doesn't not. Let's do just one more. Knowledge is the air spirit, which is number 1, and this is as we're sailing into a whole new world. The heavens are going to transform. Atlas, 3i Atlas is light codes, an influx of upgrades, DNA upgrades. I know that I was shown a vessel a couple of years ago. It's a huge big triangular vessel. It makes me think of the same one that was in Nuremberg when they had those galactic wars. Again, this is a fight for your soul, for your consciousness. So go inside your heart, find yourself. Let's come together, and we're going to make this world a better place, where we realize that we're all adults and we have a bigger purpose, and we need to come together as one collective with the same we're still individuals, and we still have our individual missions, but we're one collective together. There's no one control, but there is a group of us that help guide and direct until our children can take over. It's not a control, it's a unity. It's just as we elevate other people's consciousness to come into unity too, that's how we learn and grow. It's not a control thing, because we've already been controlled, and this is what we're being freed from. So I love you, and I hope you have a bright and beautiful day, and I hope that this message has brought you some peace and solitude and some food for thought. And just know, if nobody's told you yet today, I love you.